All right, so here we are again. For those that are just tuning in, you are tuned into the Rundown at IBNX Radio Network, where we are on the road to celebrating 8 years. I say on the road because our 8th anniversary is apparently in September. So we're on the road to the 8 year celebration. I'm one of the former hosts, but still family, Ricardo D. Rice from the Leadership Blend Media Company. That encompasses the Leadership Blend television show, the Leadership Blend live podcast, the Leadership Blend magazine. Oh, yes, a lot of blending around here. And a document that we're working on. So at this time, we are going to welcome our next guest. And this next guest is another one that I've seen and followed her career for a hot minute. You will see her actually, I've seen her in one of the shows that I recently came to love, 911 on Fox Network, which is an amazing show. And we also had another comedian that was on the same show, Mrs. Marsha Warshaw. So I'm happy to welcome comedian and actress, Mrs. Coco Brown. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We are doing well. I am so honored to have you on this interview with me. I count it a privilege and an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. How you doing?
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. All right, so for everybody that may not know, tell everybody about you. How'd you get started in this?
Oh God. How I got started in all this? Got to give much love to my boy Onyx Lithicum. I went to college with. He saw something in me that I didn't know was there. Introduced me to a guy that people know from the Tom Joyner Morning Show, Chris Paul and Huggy Lowdown. They owned a comedy club in Maryland back in the day. They thought I was funny at a barbecue, invited me to open mic night. The rest has been history. If people are wondering where do I know her from, a lot of people know me from Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse. That was on for 6 seasons on OWN. I played Jennifer, as well as the movie Single Moms Club that is played probably every weekend on BET or Lifetime. and
Facts.
people have also seen me as well as in the neighborhood with Cedric the Entertainer, 911 on Fox, of course. Never Have I Ever on Netflix, which is airing right now, season 2. So yeah, I'm a little bit of everywhere. And then I've been doing stand-up for 25 years. So I've done Showtime at the Apollo, Comic View, First Amendment. I've had my own 1 hour special on Bounce TV. And my new Netflix 1 hour special, Famous Enough, is coming out this fall.
Nice. Okay, so I will definitely say that you are one of the comedians that the role that you play in, because I recently fell in love with 911 and everybody had been talking about it for a hot minute, and I was just like, nah, nah. And then I saw Angela Bassett. And I was like, wait, Angie in this? I was like, oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah,
And I
executive
was
producer.
I did not know that until I saw the credits, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Not only is she one of the kick butt characters, she's executive producing this bad boy, and she got a
Now
spinoff
the
in Lone
highest
Star.
paid black female in any show, and the highest paid black female in any show on
I
network
just
television right
I
now.
just saw that, man. You black women are killing it, but your character. And like I said, I know
Mm.
that comedians, they get into acting and they take roles. A lot of times those roles kind of mimic their comedic prowl. But when I saw your character in 911 as a caregiver for Abby and her mother, I was not only touched, I was blown at that range. I mean, I know you've done other stuff, but that
Yeah.
particular character for me, I was like, wow, for a comedian to have that kind of range. Like I literally felt like I knew you. Like I was like, oh my God, that's my caregiver for my grandma. Like I was really like touched by that role. Like how was that role for you to do
Um,
it?
I have to give all props to the late great John Singleton. That
Oh,
man changed my life, and I say that because when I came off the run with Tyler Perry, Hollywood has a love-hate relationship for the man,
yeah.
and they like to pigeonhole people who work for him,
Yes.
especially our people. Okay, not just the others, our people.
Yeah.
And so when I came off that run, even though I had done Two Broke Girls, Don't Trust the Bee, and Apartment 23, I'd done various movies that would be considered mainstream. They tried to pigeonhole me and put me in that category. And if it wasn't for John Singleton, who one night saw me literally at a comedy club in LA, and at the time he was going to do a Baby Boy 2.
Really?
And he said, yeah, yeah, this was
Oh,
going to happen at one point. But
wow.
what had happened? He had asked me to come in. He goes, I have this character that plays Taraji's Yvette's character's best friend. He goes, I think you'd be perfect. So I ended up going to his office for lunch. We went through this script that he'd already written. We talked about it. We read through some scenes. And he said, Coca, you got range. You're just not funny. And I said, well, a lot of people don't know that because they think that because I've done just more comedic roles, they don't know that I am classically trained. I have I minored in theater in college, and I've done independents and movies like that. So it's like people didn't know that, I'm just not funny. But John saw it. And when everybody else was trying to put me in that little box of the fat, funny sidekick or just the funny girl that popped, John saw something else in me. So when John got the deal for Snowfall, he brought me in for one of the roles. And I went all the way to network. And even though I didn't get the role, John was like, they ain't ready for you. He said, they don't know that they haven't even scratched the surface with Coca Brown. So at the time, he was directing a few of the episodes of American Crime Story, The People versus OJ. He called me the next day that I didn't get the role on Snowfall and said, I have another role for you and you don't even have to audition. Just send me in a tape reading these lines. And it was the role for Queen Bee, which was one of the jurors on the show. And, her role was to have this kind of silent relationship with Johnny Cochran that was played by Angela's husband, Courtney. And where we had a lot of dialogue with no words, where he knew I kind of had this power over the jury. So he goes, Kobe, you have this ability to act with your eyes. You can do so much with your eyes and your expressions. That put me in front of Ryan Murphy, who was the creator and executive producer of American Crime Story. When he came up with 911, he asked for me. He said, get
Oh,
me
nice.
Queen Bee to play Carla Price. I need someone that can give me emotion without saying anything. I need her. So if it wasn't for John, I would have probably still been stuck in that box. You know what I mean? So much love to him. I miss him so. But that's how 911 came about, because of John Singleton, God bless his soul, that he saw there was more to me than just being funny.
So when you started out doing comedy, because you've been doing stand-up comedy seems like the longest, was that an aspiration of
25
yours?
years.
That's a long time to be telling jokes in front of folks. I can barely do
Yeah.
it at a barbecue, let alone do it in front of people I don't know. I mean, that's a talent in itself. I just want to make sure you know that that's a talent in itself to be able to do
Talent I
that.
never knew I had. A talent I never knew I really possessed. I knew I could be funny, but I never ever imagined doing it for a living. No, that was never a dream of mine. I mean, if you look at my yearbook and they say, where will you be in 5 years? Under my name is Claire Huxtable.
What does that even mean? Being kept by a doctor? What does that even mean?
To me, even though she was a fictional character, and I love Felicia Rashad, the first time I met her, I literally almost passed out
Oh my
because
God,
she's
you
been like
met
an
her?
icon to me. She was the epitome
Oh my
of
God, you met
just
her.
classy, boss, Black women. It's the way she carried herself and everything she did,
Absolutely.
whether it was being a mother, a lawyer, a wife. I just, I just admired her. I was in awe of her. And so in my mind, she was a goal. I can be Claire Huxtable. So people used to laugh, but they knew, like people that grew up with me, especially in high school, they were like, oh, she was always saying that, I'm gonna be Claire Huxtable. I'm gonna be Claire Huxtable. So
That's
I
interesting.
never in a million years thought I would do this. No. No, I thought I'd be somewhere carrying a briefcase, married with a bunch of kids, honey, going to some Jack and Jill meetings.
Oh, the soccer mom putting your arm against the kid because y'all
Right,
might have an
right.
accident.
Right.
Oh,
The
okay, okay,
meetings, honey.
okay.
I really, yeah, I was, yeah, I never thought. And it's funny because my persona on stage is so far from who I really am that when people meet me, they're like, it's like you cut this switch on when you touch the microphone. And I'm like, well, she's my alter ego. Coco Brown is everything I couldn't be in the presence of my ancestors.
I can get that. I can get that. Apparently, Beyonce having Sasha Fierce has kind of made it okay to have an alternate personality that everybody knows about without wanting to have you
Yep.
committed. So I can get there. I'm still gonna get there. All right. So let me ask you because you
Right.
said you have a comedy special on Netflix. So I'm gonna
Yes.
ask this, and I'm.
But it's coming out. It's coming out this fall.
Okay, so there was a whole debacle with Monique and Netflix and all that things, that whole situation. Do you think that
Mhm.
helped make things a little better as it pertains to the way black women and black men are paid in the Netflix space? Just in your personal opinion.
I speak for everybody. I know when the time came for me to get a special, initially I would presume lowballed. And then when I went back and we negotiated and we came back and we went back and forth, they eventually gave me what I was happy with. And if I had to say it, then yeah, Monique standing up and sticking up for us to an extent helped to gave us the ability to negotiate, to not just take what was immediately offered.
Nice, nice. You know, that was a whole big thing. And I remember on my show, we had a conversation about it because the thing was people were saying kind of what Steve Harvey kind of said. Oh, we know you should be happy as Netflix and you should take the money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, because she made a valid
All these
argument.
platforms now, no, you do not. With all these platforms now, no, you do not. You do not have to take the one eat as one egg out of a dozen. No, you don't.
I like that analogy. I love that analogy. All right, so let me ask you a question about Miss Bassett being executive producer. I know that we say a lot of times that we need to be behind the camera as well as in front of it. Just in your experience
Mhm.
on set or just being around her, does it make a huge difference with her being an executive producer on these projects? Like the say so she has, who she can bring in, things of that magnitude.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Funny joke. The last time we filmed last year, well, earlier this year when I was filming, um, and I walked into wardrobe, and wardrobe was 99% black women.
Nice.
And I walked out and I walked back in, and everybody was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I think I just walked on a Tyler Perry set." And everybody started laughing. Cause I said, cause in Hollywood, honey, you ain't gonna never see that many dogs.
Literally.
Okay.
Literally. And I'm not even there, but I know
Like,
that.
honey,
Just
no. Like seriously, usually you'll be on a set and you'll see another one of you, and it's like, Mama Boney, Mama, Mama, like to walk in and see that many black women, I was like, what? What? And then you'll be on set, and the sets are so diverse. You have black, white, Latino, white, gay, straight, trans. It's like you have so many elements, and it's like, wow, wow. Like, because normally it would just be kind of a, boys club, and you know what boys I'm talking about.
facts, facts.
And so to see the diversity, I know that she's got a hand in it. You can't tell me no different, that she has a hand in that diversity, that there's such a representation of every person on this planet in that room. I mean, look at 911, Gavin McHugh, he really does have CP. He has cerebral palsy. And the last time we've seen someone with an actual disability, as you may call it, or whatever, might have been Jerry on Facts of Life back in the day.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a
So
long
it's
time
like,
ago.
exactly. So to see that is so amazing, and it just makes you feel so comfortable because the representation is there. But absolutely, Angela, I'm sure Mama Ange got her hand on all of that. I'm sure.
You
And
know
then
the
Ryan Murphy is very one big for advocacy of diversity as well.
I think that's the thing that really threw when you look at the portfolio of Ryan Murphy from Pose to this to American Horror Story. He's just so diverse, and I've noticed that his cast are reflective to actually want to tell the story of Pose and Ballroom and allowing
Mhm.
it's crazy, it's amazing. All right, so let me ask you this
Yeah.
because we're winding down. And the well,
Mhm.
actually, so tell me what are your next projects? What are you currently working on?
Right now, I actually just got finished doing a table read for P Valley. I'll be on P Valley this
Ha!
new season.
Seriously?
So yeah,
Oh my God!
it's
This
a
if
lot of
I
funny, and I ain't funny either. My character is very different from anything that you've seen me do. I'm not stripping, but let's just say it's very
so
different
no
from what
pole
you've seen
sliding or
over.
nothing. I mean, you're not gonna be
Not
Uncle
yet,
Clifford's best friend
not
or something.
yet, but I don't put nothing past the great Miss Katori Hall, honey. Anything is possible. You have to walk in there knowing that anything is possible. But yeah, so you guys can see me on the new season of P Valley on Stars. I also have a reoccurring role on the new show BMF, Black Mafia Family, that's going to be coming on Stars as well. That's another role that is not comedy. It's something very different. It's more dramatic. And but you guys can see me do comedy. Never Have I Ever on Netflix right now is in season 2. Our new season is out. We just got signed up for season 3, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I have a new show that I'm on as well called Single Drunk Female, which is going to be on Freeform, and it stars Ali Sheedy from The Breakfast Club, if y'all remember that
Oh,
movie from the 80s.
nice,
Yeah, so
nice. Well, I just want to
yeah.
say, all right, last thing, how do people get in touch with you? Like, how do they find you on social media and stuff?
Now, you know I got to talk about this. Now, Hope had me do this to talk about this daggone conventions rock. Did she talk about the award ceremony and all of that? Because I want to make sure I don't want to make
I
Hope mad.
I want to say yes because I didn't interview her, so I will say yes. So
Okay.
we're gonna say yes.
August 30th, the Comedy Legends Awards. We're honoring Marsha Warfield, Ricky Smiley, J. Anthony Brown. Make sure you guys get your tickets. It's going to be at the Rebel in Atlanta, August 30th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets. Okay. I didn't want Hope to get mad at me. But yes, I'll be hosting that with Tyler Chronicles. So make sure you guys get that.
All
But
right.
yeah, people can reach me at my website, Coca Brown, the number 4, life.com. That's COCOA Brown, the number 4, life.com. You guys can find me on all social media handles. You just got to put in my name, honey. COCOA Brown, Coca Brown. Make sure you don't forget that A, because if you do, you will get a porn star, and that's not me. Yet. I don't know what they're going to have me doing on P Valley, but it ain't me yet. Okay. But make sure y'all add that A. Add that A. COCOA.
All right, my dear. Thank you for taking this time out to interview with me. I am so honored and appreciative, and we will talk to you soon. And I definitely want to see this character you playing on P Valley. So you have a good one.
IBNX Radio.